You are now tapped in with Hood in the Morning. Call in now.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. See, if that's not the realest shit in the world.
What's up? What's wrong?
Just chilling, bro. What's going on with you, man?
Nothing much. What's on your mind?
Why you think something on my mind?
I don't know, it just seems like you got a lot on your mind right now.
I don't know why you think that. I feel like I'm looking regular. Like, you feel like I can't concentrate or I can't focus, and every time I make plans, I do the opposite of my plans. Like, you can see that on me or something.
Kind of, but it's okay because I just got these super stack capsules from White Rabbit, and they really been helping me. Here, you should try them.
So just take them right now?
Yeah, just take them. How you feel now?
Do I look different?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel better. I feel clear. I gotta wash clothes. I gotta see what my mama and them doing. I got a job to get to. Thank you, random person that I just met. I appreciate these super stack capsules. Where can I get these from?
WhiteRabbitPsych.com.
I'm about to get some more right now. Thank you, bro. I actually feel great, bro.
The Shift Report with the Hood Mystic, where shift happens.
I'm better than any nigga that you'd ever be had in your life. Them niggas treated you like trash. Them niggas treated you like trash. Them niggas treated you like trash.
You think it's okay for you to be texting bitches?
You think it's okay for you to be fucking your ex? You think it's okay for me to catch you in October? No, fuck that. You think it's okay for you to catch you on the phone in October? You were talking about me too? The fuck you mean? Come on, man. Come on, bro. That shit one-sided, dog. They're one-sided. They're one-sided shit. Yeah, I am, Miss Kimber. I am. It's good. I am. I'm gonna go pack my shit now.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll help you.
No, don't touch my shit.
I'll help you.
Don't, see, this is how it always happens. This is how it always happens. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. Dirty ass bitch. Fuck you.
That's okay, broke ass nigga.
Bitch, I got money, bitch. I got money, bitch. I got money, bitch. I got money, bitch. Fuck you mean? I got motherfucking money, nigga. I got motherfucking. You ain't put. Bitch, I built your confidence. You didn't have no confidence. You had no self-esteem, no confidence. No, you gave me the idea to push my.
Man, oh man, oh man. Little knowing it will cost him his life, man. Today we got a special episode, man. We're about to talk about some things, react to some videos, but you know me, I'm gonna deal with the undercurrents of what's taking place in the particular society, in the news, in the current events, things of that nature. I've noticed a trend, man, ever since we did the full moon and Libra video. Libra ruling the seventh house dealing with marriages, man. Man, they fall like Frazier, man, you know, and it's such an interesting thing to look at things from a metaphysical lens, but also a realistic lens. the news between DDG, okay, Tory Lanez, and Diddy. There is a common thread among all three sensational cases. And what I've been seeing online is a bunch of people like choosing sides, like feeling sorry for one party or being mad at another party. But what a hell of a way to distract the people and get them in a frenzy, all riled up to do nothing at all. So, this video is for people who may have a brother, may have a father, may have a son, and you want to tell him how to save his life in a world that's going to take his life from him, right? And really what we're talking about is lust. And lust is a CIA government program. They got secret agents all under the guise of lust, what you sexually attracted to. You're going to attract demons in your life. You're going to attract negative energy in your life. But the crazy part about lust, you can't even tell people that they about to ruin their life. Like Diddy, his life is on the brink of being ruined. Tory Lanez got stabbed 14 times not too long ago, right? A few days ago. DDG, not too long ago, like earlier today, man broke down on live stream and ended it because he's going through what we call baby mama drama in the black community. You know, we want to look at it and be like, every case is different, every situation is different, but that's when you fooling yourself, right? That's when you are in denial and delusion. The ways for which men are going to attract their wife or a successful lover is by just doing that, attracting it. So common, we tell our young men, you got to be hunters, you got to go get it, you got to go get the woman. And all of this leads into that young man dying on the inside or the outside. You know, I personally don't like Black Death, especially for young men that's dying before their time. They ain't dying from old age. They dying from gun violence, and a large percentage of the gun violence is due to sexual relationships, love triangles, things of that nature. So, and even on the most vanilla of scale, you're not about to find, see what they have done with society is that they have turned the modern day woman into a prostitute just by making sex so accessible to young women and young men through the cellular devices. Sex is so intriguing, and women are just willing to have it if they like you. And nobody is having long term relationships, everybody is hooking up. You know, my best joke that I think I've ever came up with is a boyfriend is just when a prostitute has one client that never pays her, right? That's how I feel about casual relationships and boyfriends and moving people in. If that person is your wife, then fine. But if that person ain't your wife, you really got to sit and ask yourself, why are you having sex with this person in 2025? When you're talking about your successes, your failures, it can boil down to the lust that's in your heart, the lust that's in your lungs, the time you spend working on your business versus the time you spend chasing after booty. And a lot of times people say, man, this is a case by case basis. This is just, everybody is different. But the Bible was talking about this shit thousands of years ago. And niggas in 2025 are still going through the things that they don't even fully understand. Now, I don't care about who's right or who's wrong because that's not what we're actually, that's not the spiritual nature of what's happening between DDG, Diddy, and Tory Lanez. The details are not important. The origin stories, though, are much more important. When you look at Diddy and Cassie, you look at a bunch of sex that's taking place. A bunch of sex. Now, when you look at Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion, that was a lust-filled excursion. They were having sexual relationships with people, and the emotions got involved. And long story short, that sexual energy have turned to anger and rage with DDG and Halle. When you read the report, she literally, this is how you know when your baby mama hates you. And I'm gonna show y'all. I think I reposted it on my Twitter. This is how you know. It goes way beyond. It goes way beyond kid and things of that nature. When Halle Bailey requests sole legal custody of her son and that DDG be allowed only to see him once a week, supervised by a professional company. Boy, she done played you silly and all types of goofy. That's that is that's somebody that don't give a fuck about you. That is some cold blooded shit. And at the same time, you gotta understand, where does this anger, where does this rage come from? It comes from not understanding how to transmute sexual energy. That's the only, because if you never have sex with that woman, she doesn't have the capacity to hate you. She doesn't have the capacity to be angry with you. It's women that I've been friends with for years. They never lashed out and got angry with me because we haven't had sexual relationships. So once again, like when we understand in debits and credits, that pleasure, that bliss that comes from that lust, it also have a very dark demonic side that DDG is experiencing, Diddy is experiencing, and Tory Lanez is experiencing. Because I swear it was all good just a week ago when these men were putting out albums, you know, getting beautiful women to dance in videos and, romancing the stone. Now, goddamn Diddy is facing a RICO case, facing life in prison, never going to get out again. And every day, Cassie, his former lover, his former, girlfriend, is on the stand working for the prosecution, perfectly fine with locking this nigga up. And most men do not see it coming because most men do not understand the psychology of why even a woman would even want to be with you in the first place. So we have discussed this, and I tell people, get into that new moon and Aries video. I know it's not even, I know the time has passed, but the energy is still on and popping. Right? If you new to my channel, or if you a long timer to this channel, you know that I will always say the best way to choose a lover is by getting deep into your spiritual practice. I would say that if you are single, I would almost guarantee you bullshit with your spiritual practice. especially if you are masculine, because it's a million videos on how to get a woman. It ain't near not one video on how to get, how to get a man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easier for women than it is for men. But it's easier for men when they understand spiritual work. So and it's important because you can chase a woman, you can impress a woman, you can buy her everything, you can do everything she wants you to do. But if you are not a part of her animus, if she doesn't look within herself and see you, you're not ever going to get it to where you think you're going to get it, and your actions and ego is not going to get a woman to love you. DDG is understanding that, and maybe he I hope this is his wake up call. And for Diddy, it's looking like it's too late. And Tory Lanez, his story is unfolding. But at the end of the day, he got a 10-year prison sentence to do. 10 years in LA County Jail. And it's fucked up because the man just got stabbed 14 times a couple of days ago. And to think that you in jail, in prison, behind lust, that's a tough pill to swallow. And I'm saying most people don't get it because they don't want to deal with the psychology in the days and the times for which we are dealing with. So let's give it up to the Sun and Aries, and let's go over this Three of Wands card once more because it's that poignant and that important. So I'm going to start off where it says, as Carl Jung stated, the image of the perfect male is in every woman's unconscious, as is the idea of the perfect woman in every man's unconsciousness. So if you want a woman and you want a woman to love you and accept you for you, you have to get into your spiritual bag. Many nigga have got brand new Air Force Ones, got his goddamn jeans creased, and that woman just used him for a goddamn meal. That woman just said this was the best sex ever and ghosted him. He cannot find love in his life because he refuses to do spiritual work. Don't be like that man. Right? Because at the end of the day, what does a woman have to do when it comes to being in a relationship? She must choose the man that she wants to be in a relationship. Now, the thing is this, when you shoot your shot, the man says yes. Right? That's like Candy coming up to a little baby and say, "Do you want to eat me?" The baby gonna say, "Yes, I want to eat you." That's exactly what a woman can do when she's choosing a man. When women decide they don't want to be in a relationship, that's a real space for women. Men don't understand it because we gotta work so hard and we gotta put on such a facade. If the right girl come out with mismatched shoes, a wig that's put on sideways like a starter cap, but she treating me good, she treating me nice, and she got a sweet spirit, it doesn't matter. Because women do the choosing. You ever see a very attractive man with a woman that wasn't so attractive? That not so attractive woman chose that man, and that man couldn't tell her no. But we don't understand the nature of things because we are taught that men are the go getters, the hunters. At what point are they going to teach the public psychology, emotional intelligence? Why are we just dealing with shit on the surface what sounds good, and then when it don't end up right, what is we going to do? Cry about it and say, "Oh yeah, everybody goes through that." Don't you want to stop struggling? Understand your psychology. It'll save your goddamn life. When they match their inner mate with the outer mate and what many people call their soulmate. However, more often, somewhere along the journey of hot romantic love, he or she does something that doesn't correlate with that perfect image. This is why relationships start hot but soon run cold and the search goes on. However, this card is about the fire element, which is sexual power. God is sex. So, what people are not understanding about the Diddy trial is the Gnostic sex rituals that he was a part of to conjure up energy. But once again, you think it's all good in your coven, right? But then you gave Cassie, somebody say, $30 million, what you want to do? At the end of the day, if she don't really give a fuck about you, at the end of the day, she gonna sit on the stand and say, we did this and we did that. And you could be there like we was doing rituals. We talked about this. This not what it is. What the hell is you gonna do when a motherfucker turn on you? And the crazy part about this shit with niggas, the man ego is just under the assumption that she's not ever gonna turn on him. Cause his dick is so good, his money is so long, his status is so high. But if she don't see you inside of herself, she has more of a capacity to hate you than to love you, regardless of the good qualities. The good qualities don't matter when we talking about psychology. When you have a wife that is respectable, that is loving, that is submissive, that is wanting you and only you, that's an act of God. Because more than not, you probably gonna get somebody that you pursued that don't even like you, that like somebody else. So once again, what is the thing that is going to allow a woman to pursue you? Cultivating your kundalini and sexual energy, and finding your purpose through life, which will make you become more of a magnet. Because at the same time, your propensity to look for women, that's like looking for goddamn thumbtacks. As soon as you find it, it's going to prick your ass in the finger and your ass going to start bleeding. At a certain point, it's like, why is you looking for pain? Do not be masochistic. Be realistic and focus on yourself and know and believe in God and trust in God. Understand masculine and feminine energy. Understand magnetism. Build up your magnetism. Take care of your hygiene. Have a positive attitude. Be receptive. The stars will align for you at a certain point, but you should never ever chase. You should never ever let lust make the decision for you, because the decision that you make in reference to lust is going to kill you. The ghetto, the hood, is la petite mort. There's a bunch of dead niggas in the ghetto because they oversex, they hyper masculinize, or they emasculated. Either one. They use for their sex, and they value for their sex, and that's their God force energy. But they not doing nothing with it. They don't understand it. They don't cultivate it. They don't do alchemy. They don't transmute their sexual energy. They fucking a girl. They every Friday they fucking a new girl. Every Saturday they at the club fucking somebody. They on a dating app fucking somebody. Man, our people are lost and nobody is saying shit because we are the people listen to our music. In 2024, I'm sorry, in 2023, the number one artist not too long ago was Sexy Red. Like, in real talk, she was the number one artist, most vulgar sexual rap ever. Because men okay this shit. Because like nobody ever gonna tell niggas the truth about shit. Cause once again, you don't gotta motherfucking do nothing to a motherfucking. So you be like, all right, I don't want to get wet by the hose, and you cut a hole at the motherfucking head of the hole. You know what I'm saying? Like, so every time the water come on, the water just spurt out everywhere. It never come out the hose correctly. That's sex. That's lack of semen retention, and then they can show it to you in multiple levels. And then sex is such a powerful energy. Two people can be having sex you don't even know, and you'll be talking about it like, I'm Team Haley. No, I'm Team DDG. What the fuck is we even talking about? Why the fuck do we even care? What's going on with them? You know why? Because sex is a powerful thing. It creates life, it creates energy, it creates conversation. It's animalistic, right? In tribes and herds of animals, not all of the animals is getting pussy for real. Only the top alphas is getting it, and all of this it gets a lot of pressure on men to be this thing, not for the sake of purpose or for the sake of God, to get female validation and attention. A nigga can rest happy for women to be like, man, that's a good man right there. But our community is suffering. Our plot in this country is our stock rather is declining rapidly because we got a sex problem and we don't even know how to say it. We don't know how to talk to the 12 and 13-year-old kids about sex because we don't want to talk about this shit. We don't want to put the clamps on shit. We don't want to stop this shit. We just going to let them just keep doing it. It's out of our control. Us as individuals looking at the totality of our nation and our community is overwhelming. So at a personal level, I would never do the shit that everybody is doing because obviously it's fucking us up. Meaning the dating apps, the music, the entertainment, the ideologies, the politics, and really cultivate my sexual energy, which is my spiritual energy, and that's the end all be all. Because even when you not even 100% sure, like so basically this. So when a person is going and doing their inner work, they might not see you, and at that point, they might not want to fuck with you no more. You got to be okay with that. That's why it's so important to do your inner work because love and relationships is not no guarantee. It's a constant battle. It's a constant thing that you got to be aware of. And nobody can look at this thing like they are deserving of love. People will be like, oh, I deserve love because this, that, and the third. But you thinking that and you imagining that is not going to be the thing that's going to bring that in your life, especially if you haven't cultivated, especially if so many people in relationships that's in relationships for the wrong reason, don't even know what they doing, ending up draining each other, can't have real conversations because us as a people, we don't have a psychological foundation. God is sex is a hard one to get through the heads of those who have profaned the act Fecund and fertility are the acts of creation. Spirit is fire, and those of a fiery spirit are noted for their sexual appetite. Fire drives impulses, and this lady is displaying impulsive sexuality. And so, this is the picture. It's like this nerdy dude with this sexy woman, and it's like, how did this nerdy dude get this sexy woman? And the card goes to explain that what many men don't seem to get is that women decides which male is to be their mate, no matter how big his ego. It wasn't ever about him. It was about the subconscious idea of her perfect mate, the enemies. So once again, you don't know what that is as a man. You can only assume. And the key is the fucked up thing about men is like I did so much for her and she didn't do nothing for me, or whatever the case may be. However you go and view it, well, that's your ego. Your ego is bruised a lot of times. So the easiest thing to enter into a relationship from a spiritual level, because you have cultivated that spiritual level. I'm gonna explain it to y'all because people will say it to you and you don't have a real foundation of what they even talking about. So you're doing spiritual work, you're meditating, you're burning your herbs, you're in a right state of mind that everything becomes right place, right time. you know, you just so happen to go to the coffee shop at this time and it's a young lady there and y'all strike up a conversation. You just so happen to join a Pilates class and it's a young lady there that you strike up conversation. And you just so happen to do these things because you just so happen to prioritize your spiritual work and you're really finding peace, right? If you got a place to stay, you got a vehicle, or maybe you don't got a vehicle, but you taking public transportation, you got a job, you able to take care of yourself, it's peace in that. In that peace that you find in taking care of yourself, you can develop a spiritual routine centered in gratitude, which will then bring you into alignment of a young lady that you can be grateful for at all times. But we have to understand that this thing starts on the inside. It starts in what you cultivate. So Proverbs chapter 6:26 talks about for the price of a prostitute is only a loaf of bread, but a married woman hunts down a precious life. For a prostitute will bring you to poverty, but sleeping with another man's wife will cost you your life. And this verse leads into Proverbs 7:20 through 24. And this verse is about a woman who has a husband, but her husband is gone till the full moon, which I thought was interesting because we had just talked about a full moon in Libra, with full moons, with the Libra dealing with the seventh house, dealing with relationships and things of that nature. But the important part of this verse is not the full moon, but it is what she does. With persuasive words, she led him astray. She seduced him with her smooth talk. All at once he followed her like an ox going to the slaughter, like a deer stepping into a noose, till an arrow pierces his liver, like a bird darting into a snare, little knowing it will cost him his life. And that's what I want to start off this video with, just bringing into the awareness. What we don't understand about lust, it will cost you your life. It will take years off of your life. It will drain you of your youth. It will leave you into poverty. And you have to tell niggas this because niggas is not caring. They gonna be lusty. They're gonna be so lusty and so fucked up, and they not even gonna figure out how they even got into the situation. So once again, since we live, so the Three of Wands, right? Another name for the Three of Wands is integrity. Well, no, it's virtue, but virtue have something to do with integrity. Okay, I knew it has something to do. So, yet we have virtue here, the key to spiritual and sexual integrity and honesty. Virtue means always be true to yourself. Hence, listen to your inner soul, not the animal brain. Hence, listen to your inner soul and not the animal brain. In this world, when you talking about spiritual and sexual integrity, this means that I'm only fucking my wife. That's the nature of a wife or a husband. Is letting the world know that I'm only fucking this person. I'm not fucking nobody else. And if you are a man, or for the women that got it like that have multiple partners, they all are more or less your wife or your husband. A wife and a husband, it represents spiritual and sexual integrity and honesty. So a single person, by definition, right, they're gonna say, I'm single. They're not gonna say, yeah, I'm single, but I'm fucking this nigga and that nigga and this nigga and that nigga. Why? Because that's none of your business. No, it's not none of my business, but you're also not having integrity. You're also not being honest. And when you start a relationship, you generally want to start off on a good foot. This is kind of like basic shit. But at the end of the day, this basic shit, I swear to God, you is not about to deal with nobody that have sexual integrity and honesty. Good luck. She gonna tell you what she wanna tell you. He one's in the chat. This nigga is about to tell you what he want to fucking tell your ass. Do you understand that? That nigga is not about to be sexually integral with you. It's too dark. But yet and still, he cute, got a nice car, he treats you good. But we looking at foundational aspects. Like I said, if you unscrew the head of the hose and you cut it on, and you trying to water your lawn, you're not going to be the water not going to reach it because the basics is not there. In other cultures and other societies, like that it's actual parents that will take their kids to the doctor to test their hymen to see if their daughter's still a virgin. Of course, we wouldn't do that because that's too much. But at the same time, we just let our daughter do whatever the fuck she want to do. It's her life. I don't give a shit. But then your daughter is crying and broken because she don't know. She don't got no game. She crashing out just like you crashed out because nobody wants to talk to these children about sex. Nobody want to talk to these children about sex. Not not don't have sex is bad for you, but sex is how you got here. Sex is what's going to take you to the next level or it's going to take you to hell. Sex is going to kill you. It's like playing with knives and guns and shit, playing Russian roulette. You walk in, see your kids playing Russian roulette. What you going to do? You going to take the gun out their hand. But yet and still, you're not going to correlate spirituality because why the fuck am I going to talk to my kids about spirituality? For one, and for two, why do I talking to my kids about sex make me feel uncomfortable? Okay, Well, then that's like saying taking a gun out my kid's hand is gonna make me feel uncomfortable. You would never say that. You would never say that because it's it's less likely that your kid actually going to play Russian roulette. It's more likely that your kid is going to experiment with sex and they're going to put themselves in a position or a circumstance that they're not going to be ever recover from because you've been putting yourself in a situation, a circumstance that you can't recover from. And we will like to blame people. We will like to point fingers, but at a certain point, we got to deal with our alchemy. Because at the same time, we're talking about our soul. It's an aspect of the soul. Um, in the Voodoo Tarot deck, it's a Legua card or it's a Ogun card. But it's either an Ogun or a Legua card, and it's talking about the part of the soul that have never experienced pain. For we can all tap into that, and that's our inner soul. And all I'm saying is, like, it's simple. You want to live life on easy mode? Stop prioritizing sex. You want to fuck up your shit, have mental health, depressed, have your shit all rewired and out of wired. And the fucked up thing about it, you're going to get support that's going to like collectively gaslight you into thinking that you're okay. And nobody is doing the real work. Because the real work, believe it or not, is spiritual, sexual integrity, and honesty. Because the real work is sex magic in a real way. Because did he try to do sex magic? I'll get into it. Let's get into it right now. Why don't we?
They'd walk into the room and they would start her. She would start gooning, and then the guy would start gooning. And as she was gooning to herself, she would describe the guy gooning to Diddy. So Diddy would be in a corner watching them both goon, and she would describe the guy gooning, okay, which was a little bit strange. And she admitted that this felt weird to her, but she did it because she loved Diddy, and she felt humiliated. Then they would start putting oil on each other and touching each other. They would do this until Diddy said, stop, or you guys can start moving on. Then that led to oral sex for both of them, and then they would go on to full-on sex. After they have sex, the escort either finishes in her or on her, and he doesn't wear a condom. Then Diddy and Cassie go into the room, and she would take the semen and put it on his chest. Yes, I know. She would put it on his chest. She would want him to put it on his chest or his nipples.
On his chest?
On
like
his chest
Diddy.
or his nipples. Diddy's chest or his nipples. The semen. The other dude's semen.
So I had to do some research, man. Niggas talking about gooning. I don't know what gooning is. But gooning may be most simply defined as that state usually achieved after a prolonged edging session when a man becomes completely hypnotized by the feeling radiating his penis, since a gooning state can only be achieved after edging. So, okay. So I personally, I know it's disgusting and mad nasty, but at the same time, like when people are having as much quote unquote sex as Diddy and Cassie is having it, they not doing it because they so very horny and they so very need to get off. When we like see now, they letting you in to what's going on. They letting you know What's going on? Diddy saying he going into altered states of consciousness, watching this shit, being around this shit, and he the type of dude that's willing to go all out for the shit. Most niggas got boundaries and barriers, like, you know what I'm saying, that Meatloaf come on. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. But Diddy, he just kind of just like he with the shit. And so this just got me to thinking about, man, Chia already was talking about this shit. Is like he raising his energy through the modality of sex, through these different types of rituals that they call them freak offs. But like when you knee deep in rituals and you experimenting and you just kind of, the wind is underneath your wings, you feeling untouchable. But at the same time, you got to be smarter than that because everybody ain't with the shit. And that's why I called this shit American Ultra, because on one level you thinking that that woman love you, but at a certain level she a whole government informant, bruh. Bruh. Imagine, fellas, bro. Imagine your shorty on the stand. Imagine your shorty on the stand testifying day after day to make sure your ass go to jail and your ass don't never come out. This your shorty. This ain't somebody that you just met on the street or you got animosity towards. Because at one level, it'd be like, you know, Diddy is a horrible person. DDG is a horrible person. Bill Cosby is a horrible person. Tory Lanez is a horrible person. Jay-Z is a horrible person. Kanye is a horrible person. Drake is a horrible person. Kendrick Lamar is a horrible person. Right? You could start naming them. Right? All of these tumultuous relationships, public relationships, they all beautiful at the beginning and then they end off bad. Like, but then it don't just end bad. Them niggas gotta go to jail. Wait a second. Can't even break up no more. Let's lock his ass up. Now, Diddy might be the worst nigga ever on the history of life. But at the same time, Cassie was rocking with that nigga, man. If I was the judge, I would have just asked, could you would have left? Could you to leave? Did he allow you to leave? You could have left. You chose to stay? Damn, that's crazy. That's tough. Cause you hearing shit that's like, yeah, he did this crazy stuff, and then I went back to him and I stayed for 10 days. It seemed like y'all had a toxic relationship. Because every time some shit come up, Cassie like, oh yeah. Well, the escort said, yeah, Cassie asked me to urinate. Because once again, we talking about urination at one level, that's so disgusting and nasty. But then that's where the healing is at. The urine is the healing. And they'll be like, Hood, you so nasty, and like, do your research. So, like, you gotta understand that this world is dualistic. So we can sit back and judge, but that's not what all of this shit is for. This shit is telling us, oh, we can, if you're not activating your energy and you're not doing it in the right way, your ass can really fuck yourself up. Cause I swear to God, I thought I was, practicing magic with a bitch and thought she was locked in with me. That shit wasn't real. But at the end of the day, you just remember the techniques and you just keep going. Because a lot of times, man, you cannot trust motherfuckers out here. And then it's like, well, what do you do? Mantak Chia is telling you, right? Chakra Nova is telling you, like, you know what I'm saying? All of this shit is to magnetize, handle your energy, you know, above and beyond, go above and beyond the system. Because at one level, I don't even think people understand the power of sex, especially Puff. I don't know what he was on or what he was thinking, but he couldn't have been thinking that the situation was going in the way that it ended, because now my man looking like he cooked and all he was trying to do was raise his kundalini.
They walk into the
So I'm about to play another video on this Puff shit, and I want to make a connection on it as well. Give me a second.
room and they would start
I stepped out of the courtroom for a minute. There was a 10-minute break. Cassie is still on the stand. I had to do this video because it's getting crazy. I mean, the talk of baby oil, and I'm not even trying to be funny, the talk of baby oil got to a point where they had to have a sidebar. Thank goodness Tenny Garagos objected, because at one point, Emily Johnson, doing a great job as the prosecutor, she's questioning Cassie, and she probably questioned her for about 10 minutes about baby oil. And it got to the point where Cassie had to tell us that Sean Combs made her get into a blow-up pool of baby oil and Astroglide with all of her clothes on. And then we had to hear about how many bottles of baby oil they went through during a freak-off, which, by the way, was 10. And she described they were the big size bottles. I mean, there's so much more. I didn't bring my notepad out, but I mean, a lot of us are wondering, what does this have to do with anything? Are they just trying to corroborate the freak-offs when other witnesses come on the stand and talk about this baby oil and Astroglide? It's really, really strange. And I'm just gonna say it. I know that it's day 2. I understand it's day 2, but I'm wondering when we are gonna hear more about his criminal enterprise, about the sex trafficking, the transportation across state lines, because right now Cassie is giving really, really tragic testimony, and I feel awful for her. This is horrible, but it definitely is. It's seeming to me so far it's day 2, it's just seeming like it is a lot of domestic violence, a lot of assaults and awfulness. I mean, he treated her horribly. He's a vile man. I'm just trying to figure out when we're going to start really getting into these charges. I mean, right now I'm in the overflow room, and people in the overflow room are kind of like, what's going on? What are we listening to? And yeah, I mean, at another point, she asked Cassie, why did you continue to participate in these freak-offs, or why did you say yes to a freak-off? And Cassie actually, under her breath, was like, good question. But she broke down crying on the stand, and it was awful. It was so awful. She, she just talked about how much she loved Sean Combs and how, she did these freak-offs so she could be with him. And that is just really sad. But I'm gonna go back up. But yeah, I just wanted to give you this update.
Now, this is the part that's really throwing me, right? I don't get it, but this is all CIA, right? Because she like, I loved him, and I don't even know why I did it. So you gotta really hear what's really being said, like, like, y'all, like, I'm just trying to choose my words carefully, but it's just like y'all like are in a relationship, And it's like things that y'all are doing because y'all building trust with each other because y'all in a relationship. And at now, since the trial is at play, it don't matter what was sacred in the relationship. But it's like with me, I'm looking at it as a situation like, damn, this is just sexual rituals going wrong. No one then, he, Hippolytus' source says, can be saved or return to heaven without the Son, and the Son is the serpent. A spiritual physiological practice is likely being referred to here. For as he brought down from above the paternal marks, so again he carries up from thence those marks roused from a dormant condition and rendered paternal characteristic, substantial ones from the substantial, being transferring from hither, from thence. This, he says, is what is spoken. I am the door. And he transfers those marks, he says, to those who close the eyelid, meditate, as the naphtha drawing the fire in every direction towards itself, nay rather as the magnet attracting the iron and not anything else. So this is really key. What niggas do not understand about all of this shit is that your ability to go within yourself, meditate, you will draw the fire in every direction towards you. And you will become a magnet attracting the iron, whatever you want, and not anything else. Reflecting on your inner soul. Niggas like Diddy, Diddy was the first nigga to have 2 watches, right? All up in the material world. But we must understand that this material world ain't shit. Or just as the backbone of the Sea Falcon and the gold and nothing else, or as the shaft is led by the amber. In this manner, he says, is the portrayed perfect in the consubstantial genus, drawn again from the world by the serpent, nor does he attract anything else as it has been sent down by him. So basically, this is a book called The Sex Gnostics, or the Gnostic Mysteries of Sex. And they talking about baby oil, but y'all missing what they're actually saying. They keep saying baby oil, baby oil, baby oil. What is baby oil, man? They're talking about anointing. What is anointing? To smear or rub with oil. So once again, y'all niggas don't understand it. But once again, who is Sean Diddy Combs? We gonna get into it. Christ is the anointed. Now, like, I don't know if I can prove this. I'm gonna say it before I try to prove it. But Christian origins is centered in sex rituals. So Christ is a sex magic concept. But Christ means the anointed. The anointed is to rub or anoint something with oil. Sean Diddy Combs is in prison because he holds Christ's energy. But then let's go back into time. Uptown Records, Heavy D, Jodeci, Mary J. Blige blows that up. then starts his own record label, Bad Boy, signs Christopher Wallace, Biggie. Biggie dies. 3 days after Biggie's death is a CD called Life After Death. That sound like I'm making that shit up, but this is real shit. Niggas was listening to Biggie Life After Death after he was dead. Like, damn, what's your favorite song? This nigga should have never went back to Cali. We was listening like, dog, why he do this? Why he say this? Why he go back to California? Cause it's all ritual. This nigga Puffy been nothing is a bigger ritual in hip hop than Biggie and Tupac. Come on, y'all. Biggie and Tupac are Christ resonators. So how did this get back to goddamn Puffy? They say Puffy the one who killed both of them niggas, man. So why is Puffy on trial? For being a abuser to Cassie? Because last time I checked, man, you don't go federal for domestic violence. You talking about Diddy, man. You talking about Diddy who have been from New York City. New York City, the same place as Anthony Weiner and his wife, who was the aide for Hillary Clinton, and his Anthony Weiner's laptop and Pizzagate. Puff is centered to all of that shit. So, and when they like, oh, it's all about the kids and trafficking. No, it's Gnostic sex rituals. That's what it is. And I'm not saying that Gnostic sex rituals is good or bad. I'm saying that this is what's taking place. One area where opposition and fear have been most manifest in the broadly orthodox religious circles has been the idea of a spirituality linked to sexuality. God is not to be regarded as sexy in any respect among the proponents of the predominantly male but apparently sexless God. The idea of linking sex with worship is utterly anathema to mainstream religion, a veritable nightmare for those encouraged to be suspicious of female sexuality. Are not women temptress, corrupters of male purity? Any idea of erotic love in relation to God is basically taboo. Yet, history records that such a linkage was the stock in trade of circles of Gnostic believers. So, when you are trying to understand Gnosticism, all you got to do is look at everything Christian. The origin of Christianity is Gnosticism. So, what is Christianity? Christianity is Gnosticism without the sex. But that's like having a boyfriend and a girlfriend and saying, y'all boyfriend and girlfriend, but we just gonna take the sex out. At a certain point, you're like, well, what's the point of being in this relationship? But what Christians and modern religious people and modern Americans just say, what they don't understand is that they've never even understood the power of spirituality because they have not fully embraced sex as the way to get to God. We use sex as a way to get pleasure. But that's like, them like stick shift. You know how you have an emergency brake, but it kind of look like a stick shift. So you got to pull it up. I done seen videos where girls use that stick shift as a sexual object. That's not what the goddamn emergency brake is for, but she using it for pleasure. Meaning that you can use sex to rub some shit up and down in and out of your vagina. That don't mean that it's what you supposed to be doing. That just means you getting pleasure from it. But what we are trying to talk about is how sex is created to God. Now, when you do not make this connection, good luck, boo. Because then you don't even understand why she's hating you so much, why she cheating on you, why you can't keep a man. Because you have not connected sex and spirituality. The ways for which you are understanding spirituality, you should be understanding sexual energy and relationships too. But how are you then going to compartmentalize sex and spirituality? That is not integrity. That is not a good foundation for your spiritual life. So, I'm gonna click it into. I'm gonna get into DDG.
Was dying. I was like, okay.
In a relationship, I think I have anxious attachment style. Everybody knows I'm an Aries, I'm a fire sign. I get very passionate. I seem nice online and innocent and everything, but you guys do not know. I will go to battle with my yelling, with my words, everything. I'm good at that, right? And if I gotta yell or check anyone, that's what I gotta do. That's just the way I be.
Clap back or sit back. I always have to choose clap back. I'm sorry. I'm a very kind person. But if somebody pokes at me or the people that I love, it's over for you. I'm an Aries. Sorry.
Never have I ever started drama with my boyfriend for no reason.
Down.
I've, you know. I'm territorial. I'm a jealous girlfriend. I'm a territorial girlfriend. Where you go, who are you with? That's me.
I am nosy, number one. And number two, I like drama. I just don't like drama in my life, but I love watching it in other people's. So,
I love my baby so much. I need him with me in order to function, in order to be able to do the scenes and everything. So, he's been out here with me majority of the time. But this week, and I go home on the weekends. But this week, I had a lighter week, and I'm going home tomorrow. So I got here last night, and I'm going home tomorrow. So I was like, let me try to test myself and see if I can be without him for a day and leave him, let him and his daddy have daddy and son time. And you guys, I miss him so much. Everybody knows Moo is the best daddy to him, but I miss him so much. Yesterday on the plane, I was crying, and I went to, you know, the little airport stores. I bought a teddy bear, and I was like clutching it to my chest. I bought a Build-A-Bear and a blanket, and I was clutching it to my chest, literally on the plane last night, crying to not feel like miserable without him. I love him so much, guys. I don't know how this is possible. Anyway.
Thank you. The part of this that's so crazy to me, she wants him to see the baby only once a week, supervised by a professional company. That is that's That's when you have a baby by a CIA agent and you ain't even really know you had a baby by a CIA agent. This is what we call American Ultra. Once again, before we get into this, what is American Ultra about? I had a nice little write up. Damn, that shit got a weird aspect ratio. Let's see. All right. Mike Howell is a stoner who lives in the sleepy town of Lyman, West Virginia, where he works as a convenience store clerk. He is planning to propose to his longtime girlfriend, Phoebe Larson, on a trip to Hawaii. He is unable to board the plane as he suffers from intense panic attacks anytime he tries to leave town. He does not understand why Phoebe puts up with him. So once again, this is where you don't even know the girl that's next to you or in front of you. You don't know where she came from. You know what I'm saying? I remember it was this one chick. I seen FBI and CIA papers with my own two eyes. This shit is very, very real, especially if you are an ascendant master. If you are ascendant master, you probably feel like life got it out against you. Watch Jason Bourne, watch the Bourne Identity, watch the whole trilogy. That'll tell you exactly what the fuck is wrong with you. The CIA is not monitoring as many people across the country as you might think. The CIA give a fuck about people in this country, mainly the psychic ones, and generally they don't want you to awaken. Because once you awaken, once you activate yourself, that gig is up because you are going to be a flame and you would just light people and you would, you going, they whole thing is to stop the Black Messiah. So when we used to like watch panic videos, he would break down movies to make it be like, yeah, at one level, it's about these white people doing this shit in this town, but at a whole nother level, it's about how they actually do shit in reference to black people. Because what are black people? Black people are Atlanteans. Black people are the original people. This is not the new world. This is the old world. This is the land of mounds. Now, when you see a mound in South America, you're going to actually see a pyramid. So when they say there are 10,000 mounds in America, guess what they're actually saying? There are 10,000 pyramids in America, but way more than 10,000. That's just in Ohio. But I say all of that to say the CIA's number one job is to keep the Aboriginals from waking up. Everything African American studies is a CIA installation to teach you about something that you not even. Because if you was from Africa, you wouldn't need no school. You wouldn't need to get a college degree for African American studies. Your grandma, your grandfather, your great grandma, they would tell you about the Yoruba tribe that you come from and the traditions that you come from. I'm talking to the niggas who don't got that. And you would sit back and you think like I'm a stoner. I just want to sit back. Listen, like, you know what I'm saying? I love everybody. But come on, I feel like even a white boy can agree what I say. It ain't no excuse for him to be broke. So when you looking at Mike Howell in American Ultra being a stoner, they ain't talk about nothing but niggas. That nigga that can't get up out the couch, he just smoking weed, not making himself. He actually probably a cold motherfucker under all of that goddamn government programming. That's what this movie is talking about. But the whole time, though, his girl that he felt was so benevolent, that was so sweet to him, she was a fucking agent the whole time. And you don't even realize that this motherfucker is an agent up until you get into the goddamn court and this bitch got her finger pointed like, yeah, he was doing this, he was doing that, he was doing this. You didn't even know you was a criminal. You leave this relationship being a criminal? We all know DDG ain't on no thug shit. Everybody and their mama know that. DDG, like, you know, probably a womanizer, but in that sense, you think he knocking out chicks? He actually box. So a nigga that box, like, you know what I'm saying? Imagine if DDG was actually putting two pieces on goddamn The Little Mermaid. Imagine if DDG was knocking out The Little Mermaid. That nigga, you know what I'm saying? This nigga trying to do his best to restrain her. He trying to restrain the little girl, and now they like, all right, you gonna have to get a company to see your kid. And that's not even the worst part to me. The worst part to me is these goddamn comments. These goddamn comments. Because people are saying, like, what type of woman would keep a child away from his son or a child away from his father? A woman that hates you, or a woman that had a mission. See, these niggas, man, they be feeling they can get all of this money, get millions of dollars. DDG, Puffy, Tory Lanez, these niggas think they can hack the motherfucking system. Tory Lanez talking about, yeah, I sold 1 million downloads in an hour. I hacked the system. I bought my masters. Jay-Z locked this nigga up for 10 years. Oh, you said Jay-Z is married to Beyonce and Haley and Chloe Bailey is signed to Beyonce's record label? Oh, say it ain't so. You said Megan Thee Stallion is signed to Jay-Z management? Oh, say it ain't so. Diddy was on a jail call like, hey man, y'all ain't talked to Jay-Z, ain't called me or nothing? His son was like, no, Jay-Z ain't called. Ain't nobody called Pops. Diddy, man, they said Diddy was a billionaire. This nigga sitting in a goddamn holding tank, nigga, going to trial. How you go from a billionaire to being in jail? I'm saying God gotta be real, because if I got if it's just me personally, I'm going to have a sweet and mild and reflective partner that's going to mirror my energy. But a man with an ego is going to have the baddest chick, the prettiest chick, or the chick that's just about to just be, you know, whatever. And then it's like, damn, she working with them peoples on you. You can see your kid once a week, supervised by a professional company. Gotta be the coldest shit I ever seen in my life. Gotta be. And so,
In a relationship.
the last video I want to show is how basically Tory Lanez let Megan Thee Stallion ruin his life.
4 contributors on this suspected gun. 90% contributor on this gun is a male, and the rest of the percentages of this gun are 2 females and another male. None of those 4 people are my DNA. So I am 100% excluded, not inconclusive like they said when I was in trial. I'm 100% excluded from this gun when it comes to DNA. My fingerprints are 100% excluded from the magazine, from the gun, from the bullets, from anything that has to do with this gun. Cedars-Sinai Hospital, with the help of LAPD, Los Angeles Police Department, for those who don't understand the abbreviation, together they have put on my discovery that we have lost the bullet fragments. Well, if you lost the bullet fragments, then you can't even attach this gun to the alleged bullets that allegedly hit the victim in LA County. So we can never, ever grab the gun and do any retesting. The LAPD made sure to seal the gun so that there would be no retesting on this gun. When we went into court and we put these things in and said, hey, like, we're factually innocent due to these facts, the court said, you know what? We're going to consider that because there's good reason appearing on what you're saying. My judge, Judge Harringford, Judge David B. Harringford, I watched this man literally look at me and say, so let's just say I'll take DNA evidence to be real. And I'll say that it's true. He said this on record, by the way, it's in my transcript. He said, I'll take the DNA evidence to be true. But I'm going to say this. At the end of the day, even if I take it to be true, that's not a big factor in his case. That's not why he got convicted. Brother, what the fuck are you talking about? My nigga,
the whole thing.
What the fuck is you talking about, my nigga? Because that's the whole case.
It's just sad to see that lust has, scarred. Like, life is a real thing. And when you put in situations like this, it's basically God showing you that life is not nothing that you need to play with, especially when it comes to like sex. Because man, it was all good. Just
4 contributors.
Right. Look at my boy before his life change.
We had to come kill the streets for 5 minutes. You said what?
I gotta turn down the music, the PD just came right.
Okay.
My man's was just kind of, enjoying life. And that day, his life has never been the same. Forever scarred and never fully. And lust is like a big deal, right? Because it was a love triangle. And the thing about love triangles is that it's some betrayal, it's some deception, it's a lie. And if you catch a person lying, you didn't never know that person to begin with. So a lot of times, I'm not saying anger and vitriol is something that I would do, but I know I could lie to my wife and she's not going to create a harmonious experience with me over time. Over time, she's going to get tired of me lying, and she probably going to get tired of me and more or less, it might, depending on the lie, shit, you know what I'm saying? She might get diabolical towards me. She might grow to hate me. A lot of men can't be honest, especially when it comes to lust, because it's like, man, I can't control myself. I gotta fuck 6 bitches, and you don't want to even tell nobody that. You don't want to tell nobody I can't control myself sexually. So yeah, I love you and I only love you. But he was having sex with the other girl, Kelsey. So once again, lust ruined your life. Tory, and we talking about Tory Lanez. See, the shit on the internet that I don't like is when motherfuckers is trying to blame somebody for an outcome and the nigga's not experiencing that outcome. And you personally could have avoided that outcome by not centering your life and wanting to crack Meg the Stallion, dog. What the fuck? What was on your brain in the first place? Like who looks at it and be like, yeah, that's something that I want to take down. I'm fucking 4'11. She's 6'3. Make that make sense. What was you think? Like, what was going through your brain? Like, what was happening? Like, this nigga, that's temporary insanity right there. You mean to tell me you could get any girl, like y'all in the world? I know hood niggas, you know what I'm saying? Got they shit together. So what the fuck, y'all in the world? Y'all can't get somebody that's gonna really deal with you? You think, because I'm Tory Lanez, I gotta hit this one, I gotta hit that one, I gotta hit this one, I gotta hit that one. Nigga, your ass in jail, bro. That's corny, man. Black men going to prison is corny, man. Putting yourself in situations and circumstances that's gonna lead you to prison when you feeding families. Come on, man. You got assistants, road managers, makeup artists, stylists. They need Tory Lanez to be out here singing and dancing and shit. Nigga, you making fucking oodles and noodles. Gotta worry about niggas with shanks and shit. That's corny and lame ass shit, man. Going to jail is corny shit. And we as black men can't be like, oh, it's her fault. It's Jay-Z's fault. That ain't gonna get us nowhere. At a certain point, we'll be like, it's our fault because we letting lust make our decisions for us. We need to be accountable as black men and not let lust. Like, niggas is so fucking weak. We be acting like we can't help that shit. Oh, I had to fuck her, bro. I had to. What the fuck you mean you had to? Then niggas is out here looking crazy, bro. Like, I listened like I was folding clothes. I listened to a fucking podcast, you know, about people talking shit about DDG and shit. I'm like, damn. People will hate you for this shit. Tory Lanez, when Tory Lanez got stabbed, niggas on Twitter was celebrating, bro. Motherfuckers was celebrating the same thing they did with Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels died because of lust. Let's be clear. He had a chick with him. He died trying to bust, taking, like, you know what I'm saying? Taking fucking, what is that? Cialis and all that weird shit to get you a boner. He blew your heart up. Trying to get some ass. Niggas is about to blame the girl. Blame the girl all you want to, nigga. Blame her. Be mad at her. Say how it's her fault. Your ass still gonna get stroked, man. The shit so crazy with Tory Lanez because this nigga caught the case and was running around this bitch doing videos talking about praise to the Most High. Nigga, the Most High got your ass stroked, nigga. You thought because you ain't did it that you, man, you ain't know you was guilty till proven innocent, did you, Tory? You thought you was innocent till proven guilty. This nigga was popping big shit. Now this nigga sitting on a hospital bed and you gotta, and I'm saying all of this shit to say, man, you gotta think, man, you was sitting back chasing after some motherfucking cheeks, and it got you to this motherfucking place. Every man that haven't reached his potential in life is because you was chasing ass. It wasn't because of no white man, racist system, nigga, oppression. That shit, that wasn't never the reason why you suffered in life. If niggas wanna have a real conversation, we can talk about it. Cause niggas will get on these goddamn internets and talk about hoes like they didn't have a choice whether to fuck with the hoes or not. They act like they couldn't have been studying an engineering book. They act like they couldn't been learning a whole different skill or talent, expanding their portfolios. They just had to fuck with the bitch, and the bitch just had to fuck them over. And now they like, man, girls are evil. Arr. But is we ever, as men, going to talk about lust? Are we? Are we able to identify lust in our relationships? Do you got anything to talk with your girl about? Y'all, do you know you dealing with a mind control zombie that's yeah you up into the fucking part? When we gonna get to the fucking part? This the fucking part now? Alright, cool. Yeah, baby, that's yep, You so fucking crazy. You gonna let a nigga like that get the ass too. Goofy. Yeah, you funny as hell. We gonna get to the fucking part though. So man, I really was just like trying to figure out, not figure out. It's just like I just thought about this shit differently. I heard people talking about mainly these 3 stories online today, and the single thread in all 3 of these stories is lust. You know, DDG was lusting to have a baby with somebody that wasn't his wife, that he didn't do his due diligence on, ended up being a full CIA agent, talking about, I got to hire a private company to watch you with your kid for 1 day a week. Right? What is that? Diddy, this man lusting so hard, he getting put. This nigga think he's Simba. This nigga doing the circle of life every single night with his chick. Crazy, nasty work. And of course, Tory Lanez lusting after Megan Thee Stallion, lusting after her girlfriend. And nobody is going to hold these niggas accountable. Every nigga online today is talking about how women is evil. Y'all gotta bear witness to these niggas talking about how women is evil, and ladies, be careful dealing with these niggas that do not even. That's just a fucking a regurgitator of talking points online. Irregardless of what you hear online, you will have to experience it for yourself. And every girl you go after might be ain't shit, but the girl that you attract might be the one that you should have been waiting for the whole time. Life just funny like that. So I'm saying fuck these internet talking points. And when these situations happen, this not gonna be the last time you see a man or men ruin their life over lust and then try to work around it with money or try to work around it with status or fame. The thing about lust is that you're not able to rebuild. It is the most destructive force in a man's life. It is the silent killer. It's the thing that nobody talk about. It's the thing that's going to leave you in the most fucked up situation, and it's going to take your kids away from you. It's going to take your livelihood away from you. and it's gonna be you dealing with somebody that you know that didn't love you. She didn't care. She didn't love you. She didn't submit to you. She didn't open herself up to you. She didn't make it be known that she was yours and yours alone forever. You was chasing after that motherfucker pussy, and you chased after her for so long. She like, all right, here, nigga, here. You want it so bad. That's not love. That's not going to lead you into something, and that's why these child support courts is full. These divorce courts is full because we don't understand as men. And the fucked up part about niggas is that we have a whole support system now of niggas that's going to blame women for everything that's wrong with niggas. Anything that's wrong with a nigga online, guess what he going to do? But what about the women though? You know, women, women, they got vaginas, hood. Did you know that a woman got a vagina, bro? That's crazy, hood. They be having breasts too, bro. That's crazy, bro. But for real though, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me tonight, man. I was trying to do this video at 8, but y'all know how this shit be. I ain't get home till about 11:30. But I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Cause I had to get this video out tonight. Y'all know how this shit be. Tomorrow it's gonna be a whole different shit that's gonna be going down. And this DDG shit and Tory Lane shit gonna be old. So let me go ahead and put my little 2 cents in, and then keep up with the algorithm as this shit move forward. But other than that, man, peace to the tribe, peace to the collective. I hope y'all niggas ain't out here, you know what I'm saying, letting lust ruin y'all life, man. Shout out to all my niggas, man. Fuck that lust, bro. Like niggas ain't never gonna be having this conversation, bro. But it's a whole nother world outside of letting lust control you. And if you was the person who spent a large part of your life letting lust control your life, it might be a long time for you to get back on your square. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. But get back on your square though. You know what I'm saying? Learn to let it go. I know it's hard. I've been under the fucking torment of lust before. I'm not a holier than thou ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? I've been suppressed under the boot of lust. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also a person, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful I got a wife that allows me to like balance my energy, you know what I'm saying, at the same time. But it's just one of those things, like God has given me a gift. I can see that now. I can feel that now. And my situation is not like being in love with a woman is much different than lusting after her. When she opens up her heart and you open up your heart and you have these real experiences that transcend space and time, and it's like 51st dates. Every day is a new day. It's deeper levels in being with women beyond having sex with them. And you have to unlock these levels within yourself. So, you know what I'm saying? Close your eyelids, meditate, get into that inner soul. And you know what I'm saying? Don't fuck, you know what I'm saying? Niggas would be like, oh yeah, I feel you, hood, I feel you, hood, and go right back to the goddamn dating app. So you know what I'm saying? Like, be real with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't like, I'm talking about your life. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about your success. I'm talking about everything. It all boils down to how you can master this lust. And to the women out there that's listening that got sons, you want your son to be successful. The thing that's going to fuck them up the most the thing that's gonna fuck him up the most is his lust, right? So have the conversations with them. Tell him the real, unfiltered truth about life, about women, about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real with your son, so your son don't fucking, you know what I'm saying? Spiritual death is a real thing, especially in black males. You know what I'm saying? Especially in black people in general, but still, spiritual death is a very, very, very unfortunate circumstance that, you know, many people don't even realize that they experiencing. They call it depression, they call it sadness, they call it negative emotions, but a lot of times it's just you not being connected to your soul. So with all of that being said, man, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Stay tuned, tapped in, tuned in to what we got going. You know what I'm saying? Hoodmystic.com is the website. That's where all of my links is at. Columbian Exchange, White Rabbit Psych, the Substack, all that. Shout out to the initiates holding it down. We'll be back with another video ASAP. Make sure y'all join the Discord, join the Discord, join the Discord. That's where we keep the conversation going. And with all that being said, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful night. Before I get out of here, make sure y'all hit up that collection plate, $ Hood Mystic 38. Maybe you got $1, maybe you got $50. I don't know. Throw that in a collection plate and pass it down to your neighbor. Peace to the tribe, peace to the collection.
You are now tapped in with Hood in the Morning. Call in now.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. See, if that's not the realest shit in the world.